It's Liam from Speed Nasty Garage again, and I am back again with the one and only Riley from The Love of Grip. Where it's day 2 with the Pistons. Technically week 2 because we only work on it on Sundays. Riley is given the block a liberal spray down to clean it up. As you know from previously, the pistons were a bit tight and they were not spinning or rotating freely. We have fixed that now. They rotate nice and free. We gave them a bit of a sand on the inside of the gudgeon pin guide on the piston, which is not what you're supposed to do. But
it's a cheap eBay casting.
It's a cheap eBay castings, as Riley just said. So they work. One of them came out better than the other ones, but they all work fine now. So that's all that matters. So now we are going to give the block a bit of a sand down, as Riley's got the sanding block thing in his hand there. So we're going to give the block sand, get it prepped to put the pistons in. I got the wrong piston bolt, head bolts, so we're not putting the head on today. That'll be later. But we'll get the motor together, put the sump back on. Then we just need a water pump, timing belt, head bolts, and she can go back together. And then obviously intake, exhaust, all that kind of stuff. We've got that already.
Easy.
So that's fine. But yeah, easy peasy. So we're going to get to it. If you haven't liked or subscribed yet, make sure you've done that down below. And make sure you're following us on Instagram. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. See you guys in a minute. The activities done in this video. So we got the block sanded. Riley would like to say that he doesn't condone not getting your block decked properly. I say it's speed nasty and I don't give a fuck, so... What's the worst that can happen? A blown head gasket? We'll be fine. Riley's just like, we'll just torque it down extra tight. Should be right. We're about to put the pistons in. So if you've never seen someone put pistons into an engine before, you need to use this really special tool, which is like a piston ring compression thing. Where is it?
I don't know.
I don't know what he's done with it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's one of these. So you put the piston in, and then you tighten it up, and then you put it in to the block. And then you take it out. And that's it. That's literally all it does. Tightens it up, gets it in there, and then you take it out, and then the pistons are in, and she's all a Gouda. So, all this talk about Gouda is making me hungry for cheese.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get to it. I can't even think. I'm knackered.
It's one of those days.
It's one of those days.
Where you don't want to wake up.
You don't want to wake up. What's that song? One of those days where you don't want to wake up.
Limp Biscuit.
Limp Biscuit. Limp Biscuit. Anyway, we're going to get to putting the motor together. Quick rundown. Hopefully we can have the motor done by the end of this month, which is July. Hopefully these videos come out this month. So I'm going to try and have the motor done by the end of July. Intake's pretty much almost done. I messaged the guy. He said he's just waiting on a couple of little things and it'll be finished. And then get the motor in the car and running by end of August, which gives me all of September or most of September to get all the kinks worked out of it. So it's ready to race at Honda Nationals. So I don't think I've said that we're racing at Honda Nationals, but we are. So Riley's going to race. I'm going to race. I'm going to be an idiot and drive my race car to Melbourne. from Adelaide. So the good thing is that once it's past the border, it can't get defected.
I'm sure they'd find a way.
I mean, it can't get defected in South Australia. It can be defected in Victoria, but it can't be defected in South Australia. So many braps will be had, but we're going to get to putting the motor together, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, as you guys just saw, we put piston number 4 in the motor. 4 being this one because it's the back of the block, as Riley just informed me. I knew that already, but that's fine. Yep. But what I realized we couldn't do is while we were talking, we had music playing, and obviously YouTube doesn't like music playing, so we've paused the music and we're going to put a couple of pistons in and talk you through how we do it. So obviously the first step is to get the piston apart, just using brute force strength like Riley does just then. Get your old bearings out. Now your old bearings will look like this. They're all pretty worn. If my camera will focus on it, there's so much shit in the background, so it may not focus. I didn't want brightness. Give me a sec. Come on. It really is not happy. Yeah, doesn't want to focus. Probably because the lens is all fuck-eyed. See if it'll focus now. Or is it just worse? Who knows? Anyway, they'll look pretty poor, as you can tell. There we go. They'll look like that. Bit worn, bit haggard on the outside. Same with this one here. This one's not too bad, actually. But then your new ones will look like this. Not worn in yet. They've got like a nice coating on them. Nice and good on the outside. And these are ACL race bearings. So these are actually performance engine bearings. Probably the only good, genuine part I've bought for this motor so far. So you get them in. Riley's just checking the rings to make sure they all sit correctly. And then we chuck this bad boy over the top, which is a ring. Is it called a ring compression tool?
Yeah, ring compressor. Yeah.
A ring compressor. So it goes around the piston, and then the piston goes into the block. And as Riley just told me, is it needs to go on a specific way. There's little like dents on the outside of this that you can see up the top here, and then right there you can kind of see it. If I spin it around, you can see that little dent. They go on the bottom so that you can sit on the block when it's around the piston. Give that to Riley. Puts it around the piston. Play with your dipstick a bit. Wind her up. And then use a hammer to knock your piston in. And just like that, your piston's in. Easy peasy, very nice. Not bad, good size. So the pistons as well, they sit a little bit up above the top of the block, top of the deck. There we go. You can see that they sit just a little higher than the top of the deck. Which hopefully shouldn't cause too much of an issue with the valves, but I guess we'll find out. Anyway, push your piston down, give her a spin, and then we just got to clean up the con rod, your rotating assembly. You got your oily boy?
Yeah.
Ah. Also, don't forget to put your new bearings in. Or you can put them in while they're in the motor. As long as they go in, you should be fine. Very nicely done. Like a professional.
Yeah.
You've done this before, mate. Just a couple times?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? So you give that little seat a bit of love to clean it up. Give her some oil with your little 400-year-old oily boy. That somehow still works better than most oiling cans I've ever seen. It's really accurate too.
It's good.
It's a good one. Push your piston up. Get her to sit in there nicely like that, and then you chuck your end cap on with your new bearing. As you can see, Riley has smartly notated which rod is which so that they sit proper. Sometimes they don't go on quite all the way, so you just got to give it a little bit of love by just tightening the nut down on it. Or are you going to give it a tap?
Oh, sorry.
We'll sort it out. There we go. Maybe not. There we go. Sometimes all you need is a little bit of percussive maintenance and she's all good. Riley's no comment.
No.
Anyway, that's how you put a piston in. It's easy. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I did nothing. Riley did all of it. But it's quite easy. And then you torque up those nuts to spec, and then you're good to go. Also, make sure you buy the right head bolts, because I didn't, and now we can't put the head on. But anyway, moving on. We're going to put some music back on and get back into it. I'll make sure to record the rest of it so you guys know what we're doing. Riley using his nice, fancy torque wrench.
$30 total tooth job, mate.
Yeah. Fun fact, we have an identical torque wrench, Riley and I. We both have great taste in cheap tools. Does the job. Anyway, we're going to get back to it. Going to play some music. Get back to putting the motor on. Hopefully we'll have the sump on. We'll have the bottom, all the whole bottom end together, and then we'll be good to get the head cleaned up a little. The deck cleaned up a little, and then get the head on hopefully next week. And then it's just waiting on intake and exhaust. Once we've got the intake on, I reckon we should put a little bit of fuel in the bowls and start it up with the exhaust on it.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Could do.
Be good fun. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Right, so long story short, I spent about 30 minutes pulling a gasket off the oil pan, the sump. And then we went to have some lunch, or late lunch, to have a quick break. And then we watched the V8 supercars and didn't come back to the shed.
That was pretty exciting.
And that was pretty exciting. It was wet, cars caught fire, and you know, standard stuff. But now we'll come back to the shed and we're just going to do some cleanup because it's pretty much the end of the day. Riley's supposed to be going to basketball.
I'm knackered. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen, he says. But yeah, I spent like 30 minutes trying to pull a gasket off of this shit. And as you can see by here, it's all just like bits and pieces. It just fucking fell apart. So it's disgusting. But we have reached pretty much the end of the day. There's not much else we can do today without the head bolts to put the head back together. So
yeah, it'll just be like.
And we need to clean the top of the block. We need to clean the deck.
Yeah, well, I'd like to clean that out a little more. So we'll clean that. We've got to clean the sump out, clean up the bottom a little bit. Just a lot of cleaning.
Just a lot of cleaning.
And then we'll put it all together. So that's.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. The next episode is going to be how to clean your engine.
We'll get a new fitting for the compressor.
Get a new fitting for the compressor. Or I can bring my compressor up.
Oh, that's fine.
Worst case.
I just need a little fitting.
Yeah. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. You got to see how to put a piston in a motor, which is kind of cool, I guess.
Just chose the most uncommon one to show you guys.
Yeah, the most fucked one to show you guys. But, yeah. So, if you haven't already, make sure you've liked and subscribed to the video. Make sure you're following Riley on Instagram. It's @theloveofgrip. And you're following us on Instagram, which is @SpeedNastyGarage. To keep up to date with the motor build, it should be done, like I said, a couple weeks. It should be all together and done. You guys will see all the process, obviously.
It'll happen like that for you guys.
It'll be like that for you guys, but for us, it's going to take forever. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time on another Speed Nasty Garage vlog, video, thing, whatever the fuck it is we're doing. So, thanks for watching. See you guys.